Hello. We talked about this last night, but it got lost probably in that crafting live. So oh boy, I don't think we're in the right live here. What happened? Didn't put us in the right live. Okay. Now I think we are in the right live. Hi, Chrissy. Okay, so we talked about this last night, and the end of the crafting live, we found out that there was an update on this case and that Colby Richards had been found safe. But there's like a lot of questions people have, and a little bit with the family's Facebook page that was started by that cousin, I believe it was, Allison. So we're going to go over a little bit of that and the different stories that are emerging. So we've heard stories that he was found walking in the woods. We found stories that he was under a bridge. There's been no release from the sheriff's office about other than he was found safe. But the stories around town that he was in the back of a restaurant called Yuli's in the Woodlands drinking from a garden hose, and he was recognized. And when he was recognized, he denied that was his name, and he gave another name. Again, these are all stories. They're not verified by any law enforcement, but these are what's going around. The family mentions Yuli's on their Facebook page, and I'm going to read you the official statement from the sheriff's office. And hi there, Chris Reed, Carolyn P., Roxy, Greg, Janae. Make sure I'm in live chat. Janae, your present came for my birthday today, but I'm not opening it today. Okay, so let me go. Thank you, though. There's a lot of people saying there's no way he could have been found, could have been traveling around for a week in the Woodlands. So now this is from the family's Facebook page, which was Help Us Find Colby Richards. Hallelujah and praise the Lord. Colby has been found alive. This is 20 hours ago. We don't have any details yet, but we are overjoyed at the positive outcome. We will share what we can when we can. Right there, it's kind of sketchy, right? They're not given any details or anything. It's a little bit sketchy. So here's some of the comments under that post, okay? Someone says, OMG, I'm crying. And then a man says, there's no way he was just lost for some 10 days now on the trails and then just shows up at Alden Bridge. See, this guy mentions Alden Bridge. With the number of runners and search parties, he was trying to not be found. And then someone said, it's a week ago today. Let's not speculate. Just wait for the family to celebrate, and I'm sure they'll make a statement. And the man responds back, says, well, everyone is speculating. This is some great miracle. I'm saying it's quite suspect. 2 miles from home, with the number of runners on those trails daily, plus the search parties, it's weird. It's not like he showed up in Huntsville on death's doorstep. And the other person said, I'm just saying, hold the comments until we get more information. And then someone says, it was Friday morning. My husband was one of the first ones to go out with the other person and look for him. Okay. Then someone else said, I'm with that man's name on this one. There were so many people that gave up their time to search for this guy, and he magically appeared after being on the news. And someone said to the man, honey, nobody knows, not even the family yet. She is sending out information as fast as possible. Perhaps give them a minute to breathe. This was just announced. Another one said, I'm not saying if John is right or wrong. I'm just saying let's wait for details. Then they said, so many questions. It's kind of strange to me, but I guess he must be very bitten by insects and dehydrated at this point. And then someone said, someone had to say it. Then someone else said, same. We were all there Saturday. and then have searched every night. The comments are brutal. Like if you gave money and are bothered, say something directly to them. The whole situation has been awful. You've been amazing at keeping Nextdoor updated. We pray that Colby is something that didn't come out, and that whatever happened is wrong can be mended. They are such a precious, sweet family. Then the man came back again and said, anyone offended by it is welcome to be. I'm allowed to be skeptical. It's been in the mid-80s, sunny, no rain, humid, mosquitoes that can carry you away. And he's just fine after 10 days with all the runners and search parties. There's not that many places to hide in that 2-mile range. And somebody says to the man, there's blackberries in that forest and he was probably munching on them. Glad he was found safe. But yeah, lots of questions. Someone said, mental health is a real thing. If you want to post things like this, maybe post elsewhere and not in the family support group. Someone said, it was last Friday. He lives on my street. He's my neighbor. He went missing 1 week ago today. Another one said, I'm thankful he was found. He was just found. I'm sure the family will release a statement in due time. People on here speculating is ridiculous. Numerous things could have happened. The GoFundMe was for lost wages, which happened. It was also set up for people out of town, out of state that wanted to help but couldn't. There was also cost associated with the volunteers. In the grand scheme of things, $10,000 is not a lot of money. No one is going to purposely disappear for $10,000. Some of you are ridiculous. Be happy for the family. At this point, I'm sure they don't have all the details. Information will be released in time. Give the family room to breathe and be thankful their loved one is alive. I honestly can't believe some of these posts. Someone said, I don't think anyone is complaining about the GoFundMe account. Not that I've seen. Like you said, they both missed work. Colby had just started his job. They need a break. Then someone said, where does it say he's just fine? Then somebody says, please tell me your theory because $10,000 is so much money. And they put like laughing emojis and rolling eyes. Then they said to that guy, you really have no idea what he was trying to do. Have some compassion and simply be grateful that this young man is alive. Someone said, mental health is a real thing. I hope they don't ignore whatever he was going through, and I hope he actually gets the help he needs. Our mental health system is incredibly broken. Someone said, I knew he would be found today. Another one says, the article said he was found walking in the forest. I've been following this case since last Friday. We deserve to know. I was going to join the search tomorrow. Someone said, you don't deserve anything. Please consider and respect their privacy. For now. Then someone said he was recognized in a restaurant, apparently. Was cleaning up in the bathroom. That's the other thing, okay? Somebody said, wow. There was so much more to what happened. Wow, just wow. They don't owe you anything. The family will release a statement. Y'all be patient. Let's see. Honey, they all want to know more. They will let you know as soon as possible. No article says anything other than the found location. You are absolutely correct. I don't expect any answers personally, but I do think people shouldn't be shunned or shut down for wanting to know what happened. Let them rejoice. We will know when it's our time. Think if it was your family and others are saying they would deserve to know more. Let them be overjoyed. Let's all be overjoyed for them. Someone said if the family feels fine sharing details of their personal lives, they will. But anything more than him being found shouldn't be wanted for anyone else. The people who have been watching this as if it was a soap opera. The only thing deserved here is the man being with his family and vice versa. Okay. Someone said, wow, just wow, are you really that selfish, insensitive, and entitled? The family asked for volunteers. Nowhere did they demand any. It was your choice. Yes, they set up a GoFundMe account. How do you know that money will not be returned? If you did not want to be involved, maybe you should just have moved along and ignored the page. Why can't you just be thankful this young man was found alive instead of being so nosy and wanting all the details? They owe you nothing. In fact, they don't owe any of us anything. I am sure they are thankful for all the help they received, the countless hours searching, the countless prayers received, the kind words, but to owe anyone anything is just wrong. My thoughts and prayers continue to go out for this family. And then someone said it wasn't the forest. It was the research forest drive. Give the family time and space. Someone said, where did you hear that he was in a restaurant? Somebody said, people hear lots of things. It's like telephone. No one will really know until they say something. Someone said, first off, glad he was found. And yes, they do deserve an explanation. If these volunteers have been out sweating their butts off, looking for someone who apparently didn't want to be found, not to mention all the money spent by law enforcement, if they do find out he was missing, hiding out, they should use that GoFundMe money for that. Let's see. The key word here is they volunteered their time. I would be volunteering my time if it's the right thing to do in a community, and I wouldn't feel I was owed anything in return. I haven't seen anything where it states he didn't want to be found. Is this a fact, or are you assuming? I am sure in time the family will say something, but to owe anyone anything is just plain wrong. Someone said, the GoFundMe account will now be necessary for medical, loss of income until they are on better footing. Great news. Happy for his family and all the volunteers who cared and gave the time to find him. Now's the time to not ask questions. Give privacy. Just be happy he's safe. God is good. Prayers will continue. God bless. So relieved to hear this. Whatever the reasons, I hope he can look at the many who searched for him, prayed for his family, brought supplies to the searchers, knocked on doors, distributed flyers, shared on social media, and know that he is loved. Grateful for this outcome. Now our prayers must shift to the difficult period him and his family will go through during this transition. Please, Jesus, be present to them and be near them. Okay, let's see here. And then somebody posted, now look for Daniel Robinson. Let's see if there's any. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the next post from the family, which was 16 hours ago, and it said, hi, everyone. I was able to connect with Callie, that's the wife. Colby is recovering in the hospital. We aren't sure when he will be released. He is in good hands with the medical team, and we're hoping for a full recovery. We cannot thank everyone enough for their effort searching for him, as well as the Sheriff's Department, MoCoSAR, GulfSAR, and each and every person who showed up to search for him. Whether in person or online, your love and prayers have been felt by our entire family this week. I'm going to finally get some rest and have a good cry. Thank you again. They turned off comments, or they limited who can comment, and there are no comments that you can see. So they're limiting comments. The next one was 43 minutes ago. Hello, everyone. This is likely to be our final update on this page. Colby was found yesterday afternoon by a kind citizen at Yuli's. Yuli's is apparently a restaurant in the Woodlands area, who recognized him and saw that he was very unwell. Thank you to the Yuli's team for giving him water and food. Thank you to everyone for sharing his story so they were able to recognize him. He is recovering in the hospital from the effects of no food or water while missing. We are unsure how long he will be there. After he is released from the hospital, he will go to an inpatient facility for rehabilitation and mental stabilization to fully recover from this ordeal. We want everyone who has been supportive through the past week. We thank everyone. We have seen a really ugly side of the internet come out and did our best to protect our loved ones from it, and then were heavily judged for doing so. Did you know scammers start messaging the family to extort them by acting like they have your loved one? They do. Ask us how we know. However, we are choosing to focus on the much more numerous family members, the much numerous wonderful family, friends, and strangers who have supported us in many ways, whether through their time, prayers, or donations. You good souls outnumber the ugly ones by a landslide, and we are happy to know There are so many wonderful people in the world. Thank you. Okay. Now, let's go to we went through the one by Allison. Okay. Now, let's go to something else about the garden hose thing. Okay, see if you see the title. We don't know anything except what the family has just said there, because I'm going to read you what's out there from law enforcement. Okay, and then we're going to talk about where the garden hose thing came in. Okay. So, this, pull this over. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Rand Henderson said the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office can confirm that Colby Richards has been found safe walking in the area of Research Forest, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, in the Woodlands. Mr. Richards is being evaluated by MCHD medics and a Montgomery County Sheriff's Office mental health unit. So wherever this Yulee's is, okay, because the family's saying he was recognized by someone at Yulee's, which is this restaurant. I don't know if this restaurant is on this road. We can look it up in a second, but there's a bunch of different things going around. But this is the sheriff's office. Detectives will eventually speak with Colby Richards about the circumstances surrounding his disappearance. However, it will be some time before he is interviewed. Thank you to the community, Montgomery County Search and Rescue, DPS, and all the volunteers who aided in the search for Mr. Richards. That is their statement. Okay, and let me go over here. So now this was posted, here's a thread where it was posted in a message group for the Woodlands and Spring, Texas, where he lived. Let's look at some of the comments there. Somebody said he was found outside of Yulee's kitchen, drinking from a hose on the side of the restaurant. He apparently gave a different name, and cops were going to let him go. And the lady who found him said, "That is definitely him." So they took him in. And allegedly, the cops said, that's why they found him earlier in the week somewhere else, and he gave a different name. Hold on, this doesn't even make sense. They didn't write this correct. And allegedly, the cops said they found him earlier in the week somewhere else, and he gave a different name. And they say he was taken in. But when was he taken in? Some game of telephone here, but when my wife found out, she went up to Yulee's to see, and he was going into the ambulance. And then someone said, those Woodlands backyard mushrooms ain't no joke. Someone said, there may have been a weird autocorrect in your comment. Did the MCSO say they found him once earlier this week, but he gave a different name, so they let him go? Someone said, I know. Again, this is third party for my wife's friend. I mean, I know her as well, but I didn't talk to her. My wife did. But yes, that's what the officer told her. I called BS to my wife in that, thinking a cop would never have said that. But who knows? My wife isn't here, or I'd ask her again. Again, telephone game could definitely be going on here. Okay, someone said, the whole giving a different name makes me think he legit walked out of his family and responsibilities. Bet the family never lets that be known. Okay, let's see. Gotta act crazy to keep that GoFundMe money, someone said. This is my thought. He got heat drones. I hope every dollar that every GoFundMe goes back to MCSO. Oh, well, that's really sad. I never heard the beginning of the story. What was weird? All of it. Don't know where to start. Someone said, I'm not sure what details I'm missing, but the basics of the story is he went for a walk in the woods, which he apparently did frequently. He never came back, and he left all his belongings at the house. It's not the woods, someone said. It's a highly populated area that would be almost impossible to hide in for a week. Okay, so let's see. If he hopped in his car with his phone in his wallet and left, he could. But he had his family thinking he was dead in the woods. Manic episode, maybe, possibly, I suppose. His coworkers say he was zoning out at the computer. I'm wondering if it wasn't a snake that got him. Knocked him out for a few days, but even then, we'd have found him, right? Don't tell me this guy was just hanging out in the Kroger alley for a week. Someone said he needs to be billed for all the resources that he wasted. Someone said, hope that GoFundMe is being signed over to all the resources wasted on this sabbatical. People will set up a GoFundMe for anything these days, someone said. Okay, so let's go to, there's another one now. Okay, now we're going to go to another Texas board. Someone said, dude was missing for a week, found casually walking down Research Forest, a very busy road, less than 3 miles from his house, despite hundreds of people searching and dogs never catching a scent. Anyone know how to turn this BS alarm off because it's deafening? Someone said, I can turn the alarm off for $10,000. Let's see. What's weird is that he was probably found as if nothing happened. Someone said, LOL, my buddy and I said that he would appear soon after seeing that they exceeded their GoFundMe goals this morning. Someone said, my theory. This man got his friend to hide him at his house while his wife sounded the alarm and staged the scene. Once the GoFundMe reached its goal, his friend dropped him off in one of the wooded areas. He rolled around in the dirt a bit, then he walked out on one of the busiest roads in the woodlands where he would immediately be recognized and found. Let's see. Someone said, I'd like to know how many mosquito bites he has. I've been over there playing disc golf, and there's mosquitoes as soon as you enter the woods. They are relentless. If he's covered in bites, then I'd believe it. Someone said, that's true. The mosquitoes are relentless right now. Someone said, when I heard the wife say she called the cops immediately after she saw the back gate open, I knew it was BS. Someone said, it's definitely a little suspicious. It's hard to believe he was somewhere in the woods with so many people searching for him. If it truly was a mental break or something, I expect them to donate the money back to the volunteer groups that came down to look for him. Someone said the main Facebook page is still actively posting, even joking about how they can't keep up with the comments, claiming they know nothing more than the sheriff's press release. Someone said at least shut off donating on the GoFundMe. It still hasn't been shut off. Suddenly, Allison can't be found online. Allison knows plenty. She's been saying shite like she's so tired of social media. Girl has been eating up her TV time and Facebook group. Thirsty is as thirsty does. Yeah, this whole thing is sketchy, and I get we will get zero information. Hopefully he isn't hurt or ill. Let's see. There's probably 12 podcasts lined up to get the story, fraud or not. They will happily tell their story the podcasters want for a cool $3,000. Make sure it is in the woods where it's impossible for him to actually get lost, and make a Facebook page that blocks and moderates all comments 24/7. The first thing that was fishy about this is when I found out the woods meant a wooded area in one of the most affluent communities in Greater Houston. And the amount of resources used to search it too. You think it was the outback listening to the news stories. Right, like he walked off into Appalachia. You couldn't possibly walk for over a mile in any direction without hitting a busy street. Okay, so let's see. Just have your wife tell the police that you walked into the woods and never returned, and leave a water bottle around there too. Then in 7 days come back to pick up your GoFundMe money. Somebody said rinse and repeat. I can go missing every week, make $10K a week with this one simple trick. Search and rescue teams hate it. Cut them in on the next one and they won't mind, someone said. If there's no consequences, I'm totally going missing next week. Don't worry, the clues I leave will be way more entertaining than a water bottle. Look for my GoFundMe. Okay. Dude was just taking a walk to meet his daily steps requirement. Send back the helicopters now. Someone said, crazy. They absolutely should give the GoFundMe money back. Why did they need it in the first place? Is there a link to it? Someone said, this is explained in the frequently asked questions on the Facebook page. It was largely at the insistence of their out-of-state friends and family that couldn't come physically search. No word on giving back the money they don't need for medical bills or making a donation elsewhere. Well, I sure as H did go look at the Facebook. That seems like a scam. So anyone could go missing and get money from a GoFundMe? Right, said someone. Let's see. Someone said, I expect a whole book coming from that cousin of his explaining how, when, and where he was found, not to mention where he was for 7 days. It's only fair. Someone said, story around town is they found him drinking out of a hose behind a restaurant called Yuli's. When confronted by police, he gave a false name, but a nearby person told the cop, no, that's him, so they investigated further and took him in. The whole story is sketchy. I'm confident those in the know will provide an explanation that fully satisfies the curiosity of all interested parties. I just know they will. Let's see. Someone said, if it is truly a setup, then it's infuriating to know that so much effort and attention went to something that didn't even need it. People actually go missing and get little attention or support. Let's see. Then someone said, let's see. I read on Facebook after posting that he was found on the side of the restaurant drinking water out of a hose. I also read that he gave a fake name. Okay. Someone said, didn't we get a story about a couple and a homeless guy who were caught making up a story for GoFundMe? Excuse me. If this is also a setup, I hope they are met with the most severe consequences. Someone said, I'm not saying they're right, but I'm not saying they're automatically wrong. Think there are many stories that could be true. Staged event the entire time. A threat of divorce leads to him leaving. leads to her freaking out and making illogical choices, leads to unknown way to get out of terrible choices. The guy ended up within 3 miles of his house in the burbs. It wasn't a national forest in the Rockies. I think this speculating has just begun, and who knows if we'll ever get the truth behind it all. Someone said, I'm dying to know where he was holed up, considering the dogs that would have been able to find him. Part of me thinks he was in the house the whole time. Let me see. Someone said, having been a distance runner and trained extensively in the woodlands, there's no way to get lost here for 8 days unless you intentionally don't want to be found. Drugs are involved, there's a medical condition, or there's foul play. I've gotten lost in George Mitchell Preserve, running, and it got dark. I knew if I went any direction and kept that direction, I would be out. I was lost for 20 minutes in the dark. That's it. Someone said they were posting on Nextdoor and trying to get the police to search and organize citizens to go search just hours after he left, maybe 4 to 5 hours later. It seemed strange, since they wouldn't comment when people asked about his mental state or any reason why they would be so concerned for him so shortly after he left the house. My first thought was maybe he left to unalive himself, and they knew he was depressed or something, so they were in a panic. But going missing in the woods that small without a trace for a week is utterly absurd. The GoFundMe is just the cherry on the top that brings clarity to everything that seemed strange about it initially. So, hi Justina, hi Christina Ferrari. Hi everybody. So what do you think? Let's take a poll. And by something more, I mean something like not kosher, something sketchy, something not just like there's more information, because we know there's more information. But do you think that there's something sketchy going on there? Some kind of sketchy. Roxy says it's always good to give the benefit of the doubt, in my opinion. Yeah, you're probably a person that thinks that way, always thinks that way. Some of us are more skeptical than others. Some of us are way more skeptical than others. Sometimes it's the areas which we live or the way we grew up or whatever, whatever, yada, yada. These people are crucifying this man, Greg said, without knowing. Let's see. Greg, there's other posts where they said the searchers themselves said that they were out there looking over all this area and there's no way that he was there in that area. I'm trying to find those posts. But I read them earlier that they said that they were in that area and just that there was no way that he could have been in that area with the way they searched that area. I don't know. We'll see, I guess, I don't know. I think it sounds strange. There's a lot of things that sound strange. I mean, Chris said, I think it's mental health related. Did the family say he had mental health issues? No. Not that I saw. I thought I saw, but that's the update we have there. I mean, I don't see. Let me just check the Facebook page again if they've given any update. But they said that was likely going to be the last post from them, and that was 1 hour ago. They've turned off comments for that. So that we have that. Let me just go to something else. Here's one other thing here. We're going to go out, try to get some plants, some tomato plants and stuff. And see if there's anybody else that's going to say anything about. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to just see if they issue anything else. But yeah, that's what we've heard right now. All of it is not verified, other than what we have from the sheriff's office. And hi, Carolyn P. We had a woman go missing in a small state park. She was found deceased quite close to where her car was located after lots of searching. So I don't know. Yeah, taking this season off with my garden last year. The deers got... Oh, yeah, I know. I've debated. I don't know. I just do some raised beds on my deck, Greg. I don't do anything big or crazy, just some tomatoes. I don't have the huge garden I used to have. But I always like to do something. Ray loved gardening. He used to have such a huge garden. I feel, I don't know, close to him with that, But anyway, I will see you guys later. Tomorrow's my birthday. We've got kids, still have some kids over fishing. And so I'll be around later on. Maybe I'll see you on the road somewhere. I don't know. I'll set up a new Zoom for everyone. And thank you for, 79% say there's something more to the story. Well, I'll see you later. God bless. Prayers for all. And talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye.